Good morning, everybody. It's July 28th, 2025, and it is the most favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody. My name's Paul.
Hello, this is Bev.
Good morning, Bev. Good morning. Good
Morning, Paul.
morning. Good morning to all of you out there in La La Land and Yo Yo Land and every other land. We're going to talk
Wherever
about,
you
yeah, wherever you live, which brings up a great point because in Egypt at this very moment this morning, maybe this morning, I don't know, or maybe they already had it, they're having a class with Hala. She had 7 people signed up for the class, and
wow.
it's really exciting. So,
I'm just that woman is so cool.
way to go, Hala. So,
Yep.
we look forward to seeing more of the amazing things that she's doing. We're going to talk about BioTouch in emergency situations. And this should be really fun because it's just another way to use BioTouch besides, working with chronic problems or acute problems and things like that. So the
Right.
first thing is we want to talk about, how BioTouch really is a holistic, integrative approach. Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, we used to say it was a complementary, and it is. It complements and enhances everything that you might be doing on your healing journey. But then, years ago, we started realizing that integrative medicine is really, coming into the fore, and allopathic and alternatives or complementaries are blending really well together. And BioTouch has always offered that. And when we talk about it being holistic, BioTouch addresses the body, period. It addresses the body. We're not here to fix your spiritual or your emotional. Um, we don't have to, because over time, with consistency, BioTouch starts to open us up on all those different parts of ourselves. And it wants to bring them all together in a wholeness. And that's why we call it a holistic
Right. And that
technique.
and that's why BioTouch works so well in emergency situations because we're not denying getting emergency care. We're not
Right.
denying the 911 or any other or getting in the car to get to the hospital or wherever you need to get to for the problem. We're talking about making BioTouch. It's a
Yeah.
must for every first aid kit. I mean, we all have band-aids and ointments and
Yeah.
hot
But we
packs
need
and
we need to have that.
that's
We
right.
already have it right there.
And these 2 fingers, they don't, you don't have to go get it. You don't have to
No.
replenish a stock of it. You don't have to put yourself on an
Run out and buy
auto
something.
supply, buy on Amazon or something. You got
Yeah.
it all the time. So the
All
key,
there.
how can we
Yeah.
use the index and the middle finger of each hand to lightly touch another human being who might be in a crisis or in an emergency situation?
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And again, we're not saying don't do the medical care,
Yeah.
but on your way, here's some things you can do. We're going to talk about some of the situations we've seen happen, and if you have more questions on how you can work with different situations, just drop us an email, office@justtouch.com. But I think the key before we get to that is you talked about it, BioTouch is in the moment, you know.
Right. I mean, how many times have we mentioned that when you are with someone who is having a crisis or a moment, or they're in pain, what do? We idly stand by, looking on, feeling bad, wanting to comfort them, and like, what? Nothing I can do. I'll just hold your hand or whatever. What it BioTouch, in that moment, we can step up and go, let I can help you. I
Right.
can actually help you to feel better right now in that moment. I mean, that's a powerful thing to be able to do for other people.
And then sometimes it's not even about asking. If we're dealing in emergency situations, let me go over some of them I
Right?
know I've done, and Bev has had some. jump in when you think of the one that you did.
Yeah,
Well,
don't ask.
as I'm even talking here, I remember just down the street here, there was an auto accident, and some guy's laying on the street, and I was right there at the turn, right on Pima where it goes on to Wilmot,
Yeah,
and just there he was, and people are like swarming around. I jump out of the car, I run over to this guy, and I just start doing the greeting and
yeah.
A the headset just to help him relax. By the time I could do that, EMT showed up and I just sort of disappeared, and
Who was that
who was
man?
that? But just like the epileptic situation that happened in Hawaii, I was in Hawaii, and my brother and I were driving out of the hotel, and all of a sudden there's hundreds of people around. It was a NFL football gathering at this hotel, and people are gathered around, and we're starting to drive away, and I'm like, Bruce, you got to turn back. I was like,
Right.
I could not
He goes,
do
"Oh
it.
no, not
I know.
again."
And I jump out of the car and I jump into the middle of the circle, and this guy's having an epileptic attack right there
Wow.
on the ground. And so I just start doing the greeting,
Doing the greeting.
and I start doing the headset on him.
Yeah.
And he immediately calmed down. And just as the EMTs start to drive up, he jumps up, and he was perfectly fine. And so I
Wow.
back away out of that.
Right.
And everybody's
Fade
like,
into the crowd.
who was that guy? Who was that guy?
It's BioTouch Man again.
Gonna have to get a special
love that
costume.
story.
I know. And let's see, what other ones have I had? Oh, so the woman, I was at that formal party, and this is another thing. You might not have water to wash your hands,
Right.
right? And you might not even be able to get into that greeting here. This example of, we're at this formal dinner party, and this woman ate something, I think it was shellfish or something, and started to swell up like a balloon, and her husband had to run out to get the Benadryl or whatever they take.
Yeah. Yeah.
And somehow, I don't know how I did it, but I got to do the greeting.
You're a master.
Yeah, the magic master, and
Yeah.
and started to do that, just that allergy point. That's just one
Right.
point, folks, doing the greeting
Yep.
and holding that point just below the breastbone, and that one point for allergy. And I just start doing that while he's out running around. By the time he came back, which wasn't even 3 to 5 minutes,
Right.
she was fine. Her allergy reaction had
Crazy.
completely gone away.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
that. I mean, to be able to do that for another person is priceless.
Yes.
No?
Yeah.
I mean, you actually, everybody else is probably sitting around going, "Oh my God, what do we do? What do we do?" Well, her husband knew what to do, but Mr. Paul just jumped right in there with BioTouch, and amazing.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
we had this. Also, we had this woman, and her husband took this class, this BioTouch class. God, this was decades ago, and they went. And I think they lived out in Bisbee. In fact, they did. They
Oh.
lived in Bisbee, right next to you.
Yeah.
And she got a bee sting, and she's deadly allergic to bees.
Oh. Oh
And
gosh.
so her husband's ready to haul her to the hospital, and she says to him, "No, let's see if BioTouch really works."
Let's do an experiment.
Now, we don't encourage that.
Right.
But somehow she knew she was going to do that. I don't even know if they were getting in the car, but she demanded that he do the points that they had just learned that weekend.
Wow. Oh man.
Within minutes, her bee sting allergy reaction went away. Within minutes.
And see, her husband did that.
Yes. And they had
With her.
just taken the class. So also,
Amazing.
it's not about how proficient you are. I mean, these
No.
people just learned it,
Just learned it.
and they were effective. So, it's not that we encourage experiments like that,
Right, exactly.
Get
No.
in the car, go get the help you need.
Yeah.
But they tried it, and it worked. So,
I love that. Wow.
so tell us
So
about
if that wasn't an affirmation for them that they were taking the right class,
So tell us about the airplane one that you heard about.
Well, yeah, I remember, and I think I was taking a class many, many, many years ago. I it was somebody, one of the practitioners was on an airplane sitting next to mom and the little girl, her daughter, who was in the center. And she started having, when the airplane takes off, how your ears get all plugged, and she was really uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. And so I don't know if it was you or somebody else said to the mother, is it okay if I think I can help her if I can just like touch her around the ears or whatever. She says, please, that would be great. Anyway, asked the little girl if it was okay, and she just lifted up her shirt because
Right.
she knew she was going to get touched right there on that point number one of the greeting. I just thought, how, kids know, don't they?
Yes.
This is why we're always told, be as a child, you can be in that moment, really, and that's for me what BioTouch helps us to do all the time. Just this innocent, trusting, safe place where you feel cared for. That's what we're all looking for. It's
Right.
what BioTouch offers. Yeah.
And I think that's why we always say we have no idea how Norman got these points or where he got them, but what we have
Right.
seen is people know it. And you see that with the kids. They know it. It's a
You
knowing.
know it.
This system is not, it's not something new. It wasn't just made up.
No.
You don't have to do a bunch of gyrations. I mean, we have that Egyptian hieroglyph of people doing the exact
Oh
points
man.
thousands of years ago, the exact same points that we
I
do
know.
for our greeting. So
Yep.
there's something ancient, there's something in our DNA that knows that this thing that we now call biotouch is
Yes.
effective all over the planet. I mean, this doesn't require a language.
No, and that's why we keep saying BioTouch is here for every single one of us. It's not for any special group. It is a humanity gift for all of us. All of us can practice it and receive it, learn it. It's just here. It's here for us. What other greater time in our history for BioTouch to be here? We need it so desperately. We
Yeah.
need that loving touch to give to each other right now.
And so, what happens if I can't wash my hands? What happens if I can't get onto you just do what you can do. I
Be
mean, as
creative.
long as just be thinking about it even. Okay, I can't wash my hands, and blow on
Right.
them or spit on them or whatever, you
I
know.
thought
You
about
know.
that myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
No.
just get a little bit of moisture and rub your hands together
Yep.
and just have that intention to do that light butterfly-like touch on those points that you've learned, at least the greeting. I
At
mean,
least
and
the greeting.
and when we talk about the kids being able to do it, I just love to show this picture of these two kids, who just
Oh,
learned biotouch, you know
oh,
and
isn't that is just precious.
yeah, I
I
mean,
love that. I
and
love
so
that.
it can be done anywhere. So imagine if all the kids had this out and the
Oh
teachers
my
had this
gosh.
out there in the school and somebody falls and they skin their knee. Okay,
Ah,
biotouch, you
right
know?
then,
Yeah,
right
right then
then.
and there while you're getting the antiseptic on.
That's the whole magic, right?
Yeah, you
Right
know,
in the moment.
you bang your head, you bump into, or like banged into a couch the other day and
Oh,
banged my ribs out of location. And so I
oh,
just get biotouch. I mean,
oh,
it's still healing itself, but I'm not laid up, I can still breathe. you
right.
know so it just can be used in any situation. I'm reminded again of Ted. He's in our manual. He has that little plug on his abdomen
Yes,
area. And
yes.
I remember he had throat cancer. And he, for years, was not going to deal with it. He was not going to deal with it. He didn't want to deal with the medical system. Besides, he didn't have insurance. It was expensive. When he heard that BioTouch, he heard us on an interview, And we said, no, we don't charge. And so he called and he made sure. Now, are you kidding me? You don't charge? And John's like,
Right.
no, we don't
People aren't
charge.
ready to hear that.
Come on in. And he's like, I've been to a lot of medical situations, and you are the only one who's said to me, come on in, there's not a charge. So he did. We became very good friends. He lived on the other side of the island. And I remember at least 2 times, maybe 3 times, where he would call gasping for air. His throat was locking up. And one of us would get in a car, drive on the other side of town, and start doing BioTouch with him so he could relax, he could start breathing again. And the interesting thing about working with him in those emergencies was after enough times working with him, it gave him something inside, some self-knowing. He said he heard it from us, but we never give advice, where he knew he had to get the operation, the chemo, and he did. And he lived a healthy life after that. He became the champ of racquetball at the age of 68 or 70 or something,
Crazy.
even while he had these trachs in there and stuff.
Yeah.
So, it was in an emergency that helped him come to terms with what he needed to do to continue living a life, a quality of life.
A quality of life. That is one of the main things we discuss all the time, that this amazing technique encourages in the body to that self-awareness, to make those changes, to take that step, to whatever it is that you need to do. It's there to help us to go to that next cycle of experiencing life here, and hopefully a quality of life. That's the point.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we're here to teach it. We're here to share it with you. I mean, yeah, you just had an emergency situation, and BioTouch has helped you work with your medical practitioner and, deal with your medications, and now they're switching the medications. You're getting healthier. It's just amazing what BioTouch can do when we incorporate it, as we talked in the beginning, into a holistic, integrative, or as we shared recently, precision, what they're calling precision medicine.
Right. Exactly. One of our shows, remember?
Right. BioTouch can be very specifically designed to work with whatever problem you're working with, even though it's just 17 sets of points.
But it addresses every single area of the body.
Every single area. You don't need volumes and volumes of,
That's the beauty.
Points and things to do. Just 17 sets of points, in there, and you only need 1 or 2 of the sets for any particular issue. So we want you to learn it. We have a training happening. Is it this weekend? Yeah. No, it was last weekend. Oh, I don't know when it was. It's coming up. Well, let's put it here. It's coming up August. It's in August, 9th and 10th. Locally, in person. Yeah, I was like looking at the wrong calendar. With Eileen Webster. She's going to do it in person here in Tucson. And our next workshop is going to be with Erica Hornthal from Chicago area. She's going to talk about addressing movement and how BioTouch can help us in movement. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that, and how BioTouch, I can just think about how BioTouch will help the body relax, release the fascia so that you can move better,
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to that one. So again, BioTouch can be used now in any situation. Let us know how we can help. Just make it a part of your first aid kit. All right. Thank you all. We'll see you all next week. Thanks, Bev.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks, everyone.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind. When the pain is too much, what we need is BioTouch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be.